it was crazy. It was honestly a low light in my life. I felt totally like I was wandering, trying to figure out what my purpose is. Like, God, I know you don't want me doing this, and there's nothing against that kind of work, right? Sure. But I felt like my talents and my passions were other places. Yeah. I'll never forget this day. I went to my gym, Bay Club in Walnut Creek, and there's this DJ out there, and he was hammered. He's like, wow, this is unprofessional. Like, just girls everywhere. You could tell his mind wasn't in the right place with the music. And I walk up to the chef who I knew, what is this, dude? And he's like, well, why don't you do it? Yeah. And that's the first time I ever genuinely considered touching my DJ decks in 10 years. Oh. And 2 weeks later, I was out there playing, and I was super rusty. Yeah. Record almost every mix I do. Yeah. And I listen to those mixes, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe they let me do that. But so after watching that for like 3, 4, 5 months, I decided I'm gonna go all in, and I'm gonna try and do an R&B brunch. After that, I'm sitting here with you guys.
Welcome back to the L3 Perspective, where we have conversations around life, love, and leadership, talking to business owners, leaders, etc. There's a saying that I came across that says, where words fail, music fills in that gap. And so today's guest, if you're into entrepreneurship, if you're into music, if you're a music lover, you're going to really, really enjoy today's conversation. I'm going to toss it over to Cam. I'm going to say a few words, and then we'll go ahead and introduce him.
As you guys already know, like, love, share, subscribe. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. We do it for you guys. So if you don't tell us, we'll just keep talking to whoever we want, and that's no fun for anybody.
And so with that being said, today we have an amazing special guest that I was able to connect with on Instagram. Goes by the name of DJ Heartbreak. However, he was born Stefan Nixon.
That is correct. I am both. You can say.
But he is, he has a company. So one of the things I want to highlight in saying this, first and foremost, thank you for coming to the L3. There are many people who are just DJs, but you go beyond that. You're not only a DJ, you're a brand, you have a company, you have an infrastructure. And I think that is one of the reasons also that a lot of people enjoy today's conversation, because there's so many entrepreneurs who are looking to figure out, how do I create these systems? How do I create a team? How do I collaborate with individuals? And so from my short time of connecting with you, I see the authenticity. I see how genuine you are. And we just want to welcome you, DJ Heartbreak, to the L3 Perspective.
Thank you for having me. This one's been circled on the calendar since we had it. So very excited for this, very first podcast ever. Yeah. And I love I love the entrepreneurial spirit. It reminds me of the college days. So looking forward to diving into it.
Got you. So you created R&B and Brunch, R&B and Golf. You have Heartbroken as a company. And so you have all these different things. Take us back to where the name DJ Heartbreak comes from.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually DJ'd in high school. So it started, admittedly, with a little bit more of a shallow meeting. I just simply, I wasn't cool enough to land a date to the school dances. So I was like, DJ Heartbreak, to be all moody and everything. But it was the beginning of being entrepreneurial, because I was booked by the school district, the high school, trusted with that. There you go. I don't know how I pulled that off. Now I think about a 16, 17-year-old DJing his junior prom, his senior ball, his homecoming. Oh, wow. And I remember Mr. Whiteman, that's his real name, walking over to me and saying, hey, turn this down, and all those things. But I learned how to invoice. I started a clothing line, Heartbroken. It was the same name, everything, back in high school. As I came back to DJing a decade later, totally accidental, and I'm sure we'll get into that later, I had the choice of, what am I going to name this? And I was like, at that point in my life, 28, 29 years old, very active in my faith, and kind of rebirthed it with a deeper meaning. I really think that all of us have things that break our hearts, whether it's a past relationship, someone in our life that struggles with addiction, a business that failed, you know, the list goes on and on and on.
For sure.
But I think those things bring us closer to God when we use them as a catalyst. So I picked the name DJ Heartbreak. It was really, I could have been DJ Catalyst, but didn't have the same ring. If there is a DJ Catalyst out there, it's all yours. But that's kind of the rebirth of the name. And for me, it's always been biblical. When people meet me, they're like, "Oh, you're DJ Heartbreak." I think they expect more like of a heavy energy to me. And I love that. I love how it's both light and dark at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's how we got the name.
Yeah. Why the 10-year break?
I always grew up. My mom, she's going to watch this for sure. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
I grew up in a household where, and I don't have any bitterness about this at all, but it was like, you got to go to school.
For sure.
You got to go get a 9-to-5. You got to go rule the world in a different way.
Dream.
Yes. You know, and I think that dream has evolved with social media, with podcasts, with streaming and those types of services. I've always wanted to be in entertainment, which we'll get into. I just didn't know kind of which way I would go about it.
Yeah.
And the 10-year gap was definitely just, I look back on it now as like, I know what God was doing. I was like, oh, that's why you had me there. And that's why I was working that weird job. And because I use all of those skills now as working for myself, which still saying that sentence is weird to me. But all of those little jobs I had in that 10-year gap prepared me for where we're at now.
Yeah. No, that's good. So from Walnut Creek, California,
yes,
DJing, curating events. You know, what is the spark behind your drive of bringing folks together?
Definitely, there's different avenues. It initially started with the R&B Brunch series. And I'm particular with not R&B Brunch, the R&B Brunch. And that's something I tried to differentiate initially. Sometimes when I talk to the crowd at our brunches, I say, you know, when you get back to work on Monday, don't say you just went to some R&B brunch in Napa. You went to the R&B Brunch. And it all traces back to, for me, I was trying to recreate the experience I had with my family growing up. We are from San Francisco originally. And when I was in elementary school, I remember moving from San Francisco to the East Bay, and I lived in a very multi-generational house. I was with my great-grandma, my grandma, my mom, and I lived in the same home at one time, which is a lot of arguments, a lot going on, a lot of estrogen in that household. But one of the things I look back on now with like, you know, I'd give anything for one more of these, is like every Sunday you'd wake up, music playing, and it would be so all over the place. It'd be Anita Baker, Shaka Khan, Frankie Beverly, Tevin Campbell, Usher, you know, all over. It was R&B music, soulful music. And that's the first sense that'd be hit, it'd be your ear. And then the second would be your nose, because you'd smell the food. And, you know, Granny, Momo, as we call them, would be making grits, pancakes, okra, bacon, all of it, like clockwork every single Sunday. And I was like, I don't feel like we do this anymore as a community. And maybe it's just my household or moving to Walnut Creek, whatever it is, right? But I was like, I really want to try and recreate this experience in a way where we can connect with great food and great music. And then something that kind of came later is great ambiance. I really love to go places where you drop that flyer and people are like, they're going there? They're in Napa? They're in Sausalito? They're in Walnut Creek? What are they doing out there? You know, I love that feeling. Not always, you know, sometimes you draw it. So you don't have to always hit that on the head with that wow factor necessarily. But I do love to bring the culture to places traditionally where it's been underrepresented.
Yeah. So when we talk about the architecture, like how did you come up with that? You know, like, so you come back to DJing after a decade, then you're like, I'm coming out. Like, how do you architect the events, you know, the rollout? Like, what was that initial phase like? And like, who was involved in it? And are they even still around?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. So I'll kind of touch on how I got back into DJing because it was so accidental. And you can only attribute it to God. So I had many, many experiences in my 20s where it was God clearly trying to get me back to my musical roots, if you want to call it that, entertainment industry roots. For instance, I'm a dual citizen, so I go home sometimes to the Caribbean. I went for the first time when I was like 24, 25 years old.
Oh, that's cool.
And shout out Grenada, that's the country. And within like 48 hours of being in this country I'd never been to, my dad's showing me around. I'm not very close with my dad, so it was like it was like already kind of weird, but within 48 hours I'm in a recording studio.
Oh wow.
With this very big artist in the Caribbean. I had no clue. His name's Mr. Killa, if you look him up. And I'm sitting in a recording studio with this guy, and he's, you know, I'm not going to try and do the Caribbean accent, but he's doing his thing on the mic, and I'm like, God, you keep like pushing me in this direction. I'm getting laid off at these jobs. I can't figure out left and right. I'm like, do you want me to do something in this, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had a job installing fences in 2021, 22. I'm literally putting poles in the ground, setting concrete. It was crazy. It was honestly a low light in my life. I felt totally like I was wandering, trying to figure out what my purpose is. Like, God, I know you don't want me doing this, and there's nothing against that kind of work, right?
Sure.
But I felt like my talents and my passions were other places.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this day. I went to my gym, Bay Club in Walnut Creek, and there's this DJ out there, and he's hammered. He's like very, very clearly like inebriated, right? You're like, wow, this is unprefessional. Like just girls everywhere. You could tell his mind wasn't in the right place with the music. And I walk up to the chef who I knew at Bay Club because I'm a member there. Yeah. Chef, not a manager or anything. I was like, what is this, dude? And he's like, well, why don't you do it?
Yeah.
And that's the first time I ever genuinely considered touching my DJ decks in 10 years. Oh. And 2 weeks later, I was out there playing and I was super rusty. Yeah. It was, now I record almost every mix I do. Yeah. And I listen to those mixes and I'm like, wow, I can't believe they let me do that. But a lot of domino effects after that. Met some people who, Tommy T's in Pleasanton, which is a very big comedy club. Okay. Their DJ had just been, they had some drama there and they needed someone to step in. I was DJing for Tommy T's 4 weeks later. Oh, shit. And so hadn't touched my decks in 10 years. And 4 weeks later, I'm the resident DJ at Tommy T's. Okay. Wow. One of the biggest comedy clubs, one of the most recognizable names in the Bay Area. Yeah. Getting to your question, I promise.
You're good. This is your show. Bro.
Yeah. While at Tommy T's, I'm really just learning how to not screw up, right? I had so many comedians come up to the wrong song. Like, I'll never forget. This is a small little side story. So Jagged Edge, they have a song called Let's Get Married. Yeah. Everybody knows that song, right? Most people don't realize the version we all know is a remix. Correct. So the comedian walks up to me. He's like, hey, I want to come out to Let's Get Married. I Google it. I honestly didn't know the song. I was like, oh, no. So I bring him up to the little slow Let's Get Married song. When he wanted the remix, this guy tore me up on stage. He's like, right? Tommy T's. But eventually I got that kind of science down. I got comfortable with those little checks I had. I was able to get the red equipment and everything. And then I kind of got into study mode. I was like, I'm not really making enough money this way to like live, pay my rent. I was living off of a little bit of my savings. But I knew I needed to make something work pretty quickly. And I always noticed that no matter the demographic who was in the room, old, young, black, white, gay, straight, if you play R&B music, I really think it's kind of like a shot right up the middle, right? Sure. And everyone loves a good Usher song. No one can get mad when Tevin Campbell's playing. It doesn't really activate the parts of that sometimes business owners get worried about. If you go, oh, I want to throw a hip hop event here, like, oh, I want to throw an R&B event here. Yeah. Oh, right? So,
love.
Exactly. So after watching that for like 3, 4, 5 months, I decided January 1st, 2025, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to try and do an R&B brunch. And I posted my first video and we're about 18 months after that. I'm sitting here with you guys. Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. I was sharing with them before we started recording. Like I came across a video of him. What obviously at the time I didn't know. Just scrolling through Instagram, and I was like, "Yo, this seems like a pretty good event." Right?
Yeah.
Didn't know that it was just in our backyard.
Yeah.
And then fast forward months later, reached out to him and was scrolling through his page and came across the video. It was like, oh, it's funny how things just comes full circle. Because what grabbed my attention was the quality of it. You having a desire to bring folks together and watching the smiles and, you know, and I know these are just highlight reels, but there was some essence to those videos. And I was just like, hey, let's reach out and connect.
Thank you. That's exactly what I try to create. Like I said, it all connects back to those childhood days with mom, granny, and Momo. Something I've had to come more center on, and I'm sure we'll get into all the details later, but I've always wanted to create something a little more nostalgic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And I've had to come center, and I know we're going to talk to entrepreneurs and everything, and this is kind of one of the points I wanted to highlight when I was thinking about what we talk about. When I initially wanted to do this, I wanted it to be this kind of soft family thing. And I haven't come all the way to a full-on, party, rager, but I've had to kind of come more center than that. And that's really when the market tells you what it wants. Yeah. You kind of have to meet them there. Still stay true to who you are. Yeah. But I wasn't anticipating playing Too Short at my brunches. Right? I thought it was going to be a little more. I don't think sophisticated is the word, but I think you guys get what I'm saying, right? Yeah. And some people, grew up differently than myself, and that's something I've had to see. Like maybe your childhood was a little bit different. Maybe they were playing different soundtracks in your household. Not better, not worse, but for entrepreneurs, don't stranglehold your idea. Yeah. Really see what the market is telling you and what people are telling you, feedback, look at what other industries are doing and adjust accordingly.
Yeah. Did you do an event the weekend of June 5th by chance?
I'm bad at on the spot. Yes, we did. I
walked by your event.
You did?
Yes. Didn't I tell you? So we went down to Napa for my daughter's, she had just graduated. We wanted to take photos. And we walked past a place, and I was telling my wife, I was like, oh, they must be doing some type of brunch thing in there. And I heard everyone partying and having a good time. And I smelled the food, and I was like, oh, that looks like a good time. There you go.
It is
full circle moment
for sure. Yeah.
I was trying to make sure I remembered to ask you that. 'Cause I was like, I feel like this might have been one of his events.
Yeah. So you go from DJing. At what point was it in your experience that you were just like, hey, I don't want to just be known as a DJ. I want to create some infrastructure. I want to create a brand. What was can you fill in that gap?
Definitely. I think I'm early to successfully doing that. Something that doesn't bother me at all, but is, I think, a reality of what I do is I'm just now getting to the point where my team, because my team is relatively new, last 3 to 5 months is when I've really developed the team that I have now. They're like, hey, Heartbreak, people are here to see you, right? Yeah. Because I've had times where admittedly, and this isn't the best thing to do as a DJ, but if ticket sales were a little rough, I was like, hey, why don't we give this opportunity to someone else? Yeah. I am booked typically Wednesday through Sunday. So if I could have a random Saturday off, sure. Yeah. And then my team is like, hey, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people asked us where you were. Yeah. And I was kind of shocked by that. I don't know if it's humility. I don't know if it's ignorance, whatever. I was just like,
music's music.
Yeah. That's really what I thought. And I was flattered, to be honest. I was like, wow, I didn't realize, again, I'm only 18 months into this now, about a year and a half. I didn't realize that people associated me with their good time. And I've always kind of had the hidden infrastructure. I interned at Live Nation. I worked for the team behind Coachella, Golden Voice, one of the largest concert promoters in the world, Another Planet. I worked on the Outside Lands team. And I worked in artist representation down in Beverly Hills. I worked on the same team as Beyonce and Stevie Wonder. And so I've gotten to see entertainment at the highest levels. Yeah. I entered at the Recording Academy. They put on the Grammys. Yeah. I went to the Grammys the last 2 years. Oh, nice. So I've seen entertainment at its highest levels. So I've always had an idea of behind the scenes what's needed. Most people don't peek behind the curtain.
For sure.
Because they don't care. That's what I've always thought. Like nobody cares what DJ Heartbreak's doing on a Tuesday. I don't, you know, I've always thought that, right?
I don't care what DJ.
That's what I always thought. And I'm still honestly grappling with whether people will care, whether my story will resonate with anyone. Because I think so many people have interesting stories, things you want to hear about. I'm curious to know if people care about the story behind the R&B party that they go to. The brunch is where I originated, but now we're doing R&B and Golf.
Correct.
I've done R&B and Ready, which is singles mixers, which have been really nice too. It's all anchored in R&B because that's authentically what I love.
Yeah.
When I leave here tonight and hop in my car, I'm gonna be listening to some R&B music. You know, I'm not performing in that way. But I always knew that infrastructure was needed. My goal now is to still end up on that Grammy stage somehow.
Right.
But from a totally different angle than what I imagined, whether it's producing, whether it's stepping into artistry, maybe it's some short form content with you guys, you know, who knows? But I'm to answer your question, you know, simply letting the world know about my infrastructure is still very new, and something I'm very curious to know if they even care about.
Yeah. So I will tell you just from my experience in business, from a business side, but also a client side, people do want to connect with the story. I think more people than not believe in like, hey, I want to know more, right? Because we're so inundated with social media and everything. So from a business aspect, being able to actually show them the authenticity behind the thing, I think a lot of people are able to connect, even to be aligned to commit longer with that person or that brand. That's just been from my experience, just in being in this space, being in business, and connecting with people. Now, part of that could be personality driven because I enjoy connecting with people. Yeah. And so, but that is as far as feedback and being able to have conversations around other businesses and or clients, that I would say is definitely one that people look for.
Yeah, and I think it's something that's been missing in my journey. I think people know what I want to do, and I'm really getting into the why I want to do it because I genuinely comes from, in my opinion, a very good and authentic place. And I think this is maybe step one in my journey of telling people why I am one of the bigger R&B DJs in the Bay Area. And if you're traveling here, or if, you know, my goal is to take this show on the road too,
that'd be cool.
What you're signing up for. So very excited to start this journey with you two.
When you went all in January 1, 2025, were you still working? Like, how, you know, if you don't mind, how much money do you have to dedicate to it? Like, what did all in like really mean for you at that time?
So I had a little bit of overlap with DJing at Tommy T's and installing fences. So there was like dual income at some point.
Okay.
And then I got laid off from the fencing. And you guys must be like, wow, he's just a terrible employee. No.
It's California. It's the nature of the business. Like, I mean, that's honestly like when I left the Air Force, I tell Glenn, I'd refuse to leave my future in someone else's hands, because I know people who were like number one in, I was a recruiter in the Air Force. And so like, I know people who were like number one recruiters in the entire Air Force, went and got a job at like Microsoft. We're like, hell yeah, the dream is happening. 3 months later, laid off.
Yeah.
Like I had too many friends that happened to, people I know who were great, and it's just the system. And I was like, I refuse to be another metric in the system. Like, so nah, man, I don't think anyone thinks that. We don't, at least. And if you do, you know, you should.
There was a little bit of overlap and then laid off. So I was, for the first time ever, a full-time DJ. And again, it just felt like God, right? Because I was like, how did I end up this? You know what I mean? I only had shifts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because it's the only time that they had shows. Yeah. And I had to make it work. So I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was scary.
No, yeah.
And I was in a relationship at the time. everyone has different relationship dynamics, but it's like you don't want to tell your girl like, hey, I'm on payment arrangements at my apartment complex right now. You know what I mean? I'm like,
electricity.
Yeah, and PG&E notices coming to the door, and you're like,
this is the wrong address.
Exactly. That's so. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh man. I really insulated her well, and I don't know if that's healthy or not. I gotta talk to my therapist about that, but. You know, definitely did not have more than 1 month saved up. So it was like, boom, boom.
So you're
gotta
running.
hustle.
You're running.
I didn't really have any side gigs now that I think of it. I don't know how I did it. God, right? Because like groceries, everything was more expensive. Inflation, we all see how things are. Yeah. Thankfully, gas prices weren't where they are now. But it was a lean, mean machine, right? And I live in downtown Walnut Creek. So it's like, it's, you know, like, alone. So, yeah, it was rough. But I don't even remember what you asked.
Like when you went all in, like what was that like? What did it look like?
So I made my first video. I'll never forget the guy who's my manager now, my childhood best friend, Everett. I called him and I'm like, dude, I have this idea, and I feel like it was downloaded straight from God. I was like, I want to do this kind of R&B, like a brunch type of thing. Yeah. And admittedly, I had seen similar concepts out there. I don't want to sit here and act like, oh, I completely invented this. You know, I'm on TikTok and Instagram just like everyone, right? I wanted again to do it from a different angle. I saw these R&B parties, and I felt like they were just a little bit too close to the party side. Again, I wanted to do something like you could bring your grandma to, you could bring the kids to. And I see quickly why that still doesn't really exist. I think people who go to these, like if I wanted to be at a 10, if I wanted to be at a 10 on the, you know, this is a beautiful event scale, you got to come more to like a 7 or a 6, right? But going all in, I was like, hey, I'm just going to like mix 2 songs together on the roof that people haven't heard in a while. And I think it'll resonate with people. And I'll never forget, he'll admit it to this day. He's like, man, that ain't gonna work. You can hear it in his voice. Maybe he didn't say those exact words. But he's like, all right, man. I'm gonna go walk the dog. You know?
Yeah, call me after you post it. I'll hear you with your third like.
Yeah, exactly. I had like 800 followers at the time. Posted my first video. I'll never forget. It was
Instagram or TikTok?
I didn't have TikTok yet.
Okay.
I was I'm still catching up on TikTok.
Bro, we're the same way.
But I'll never forget. And I did a mashup that I saw another DJ do.
Okay.
So I was honestly, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect, right?
Like, our business partner is very big on R&D. What is it? Repeat and duplicate. A rip off and repeat.
Yeah.
A rip off and duplicate. Yeah, one of those.
I did Sweet Love by Anita Baker, which genuinely was a song that I grew up on, heard in the house. Mom played over and over again. And then I did Lifestyle by Rich Gang. Rich Homie. As honestly, those 2 songs, and now I'm 18 months into DJing. I know why those songs work together now. I think this is where you go from someone who's replicating to someone who's understanding. Yeah. Those songs melodically, believe it or not, they're the same tempo, and melody-wise, they mesh very well together. So the guy who originally did it, it went super viral online, but now I've learned why things are. So you're not just consuming and going, oh, that sounds cool. Now it's like, oh, let's go create. Let me go put a Be Legit song over a Frankie Beverly song. And those will work like because
the science. You understand like the science to it almost.
I had my own viral version. I put Mr. Fab over Frankie Beverly and it worked. Oh, wow. And I knew why it worked because melodically it was the same formula as Anita and Tevin Campbell. Okay. So day 1, you're right, like 7 likes. Okay. Because I was still Stefan. I was online. I wasn't DJ Heartbreak or anything. Day 2, I don't know, but it grew. But day 4, viral.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember the exact number. It was like day 3 or day 4. It was 1,000 likes, 1,500 likes, whatever it was. Yeah. And people are spreading it. People are in the comments. Oh, you need to hit up this place. Or, oh, I could see this vibe here. Or you need to come out to this city. Or I'd love this in Stockton. You know, cool. I was like, wow, this is the power of the internet that you always hear about. But most people never get to see that side of the internet. Correct. They're just on the consumer side, right? And it was so cool to have that moment. And that's the one time in my journey I feel like I did a little bit of storytelling. I told people like, day 5, I'm going to do a site visit, and day 6, and
okay. Like a little vlog almost.
kind of
Yeah.
the days were not me mixing anymore. It was like I just went here, I just went there, and then I think it was day 10 or day 11 we had a spot. Very first R&B brunch was in Oakland. We did it at Fluid 510.
Okay.
And I haven't looked back since.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
How did you convince Fluid 510 to let you do the flagship?
They reached out to me. They DM'd me. Someone had sent it to Fluid Ownership. I got to give a shout out to Sean. We haven't talked in a while, but that was the very first one. It sold out.
They've been sold out ever since for the most part, right?
Most of the time, we sometimes pick bad days still. And, we still are learning.
It's a law of numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We had one in Sausalito this weekend. It was Pride. So we didn't even think of that 3 weeks out. I've never been to Pride personally, so I didn't even know. So it was a little bit softer this weekend. We still miss, but had one in Walnut Creek this same weekend. It was sold out. So
yep. You just never know. It's like, if it's stuff you didn't know about, you're like, oh, why would I know about that? Or like, why would that be on my radar?
We're trying to make smarter decisions so we have less duds or whatever you want to call them. But it's a competitive landscape. There's a lot to do during the summer.
Yes.
We've seen like fall and winter are actually stronger sales-wise than the summer because there's so much to do.
And it's an inside event.
Yeah. So sometimes my dream is to, I want to speak to the camera here. My dream, Silverado Resort, Meritage Resort.
Yeah.
My dream is to do it outside, big.
Yeah.
Circular tables. I've always had this dream since the beginning. Like circular tables, still have a DJ out there, but like 500, 600, 700 people. Great food, great ambiance. Again, in a location that when you first hear about it, you're like, they're doing that there, you know? And one seating with just a bunch of beautiful families. Doesn't matter what color you are, as long as you love R&B music.
Yeah.
So yes, it's typically inside. We have a spot in Livermore that's inside and outside. But I'd love to do more outside brunches as well at scale.
We're going to help you do that.
Yeah.
All right.
There's mentioned some other places that we also want to do stuff.
Yes.
Hey, hit us up.
How are you using AI at all to help you guys?
Yeah, kind of. Like event descriptions.
Okay. I mean, from a research perspective.
From a research perspective, I did 2 brunches in Los Angeles for the first time this year.
Okay.
And I found those locations with the help of AI.
Okay.
That is something I have some curiosity about, is how we can scale better.
Yeah.
Because I really think our template and our heart can
scale
copy and paste in some capacities. Like I'd love to do an R&B brunch in Reno.
Okay.
I'd love to go down to Scottsdale. My brother goes to college there.
Yeah.
He says we really need something like this down there.
Yeah.
But it's hard because I feel like the hardest thing for me in my business is, even with my new team, I see a lot of things clearly in my head a certain way.
Yeah.
But I think part of being a great leader is how well you can translate that. It's literally like taking English to Spanish.
Yeah.
You know how some words don't translate exactly the same?
For sure.
So I'm like, hey, we should do this, this, and this. And I see it clearly in my head. And I say it to my videographer, or I say it to my manager, and they maybe get 80% of it, right? So I see a lot of things in my head where I think this could be a national concept. I want people to say, hey, I met my wife at the R&B brunch in 10, 20 years, right? Or I met my wife at one of your R&B and golf events.
Yeah.
And I try to work from that end result backwards.
Yeah.
And I've seen some success with that. But honestly, I'm still working on assembling the Avengers to do that, you know?
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead.
So that's something we lean into like super hard, right? It's like and so a lot of entrepreneurs are like you, right? They're like, hey, I'm going to use it to like find an event or like maybe do a little research. And like when we do a live call on Wednesdays. We call it the AI Business Lounge. And so I go live with our other business partner, and we talk about like how you can use AI to actually execute on stuff. So like for instance, like on my phone, I can tell my phone right now, like, hey, I want you to research like 5 different venues for Stefan, and then email those venues to him and let him know the likelihood of them being booked out based off the weather. And it will do that for you.
What?
So that's
I didn't know that.
That's the time I'm on, bro.
And even with that, here's the good thing with that regarding like your manager, right? Like it gives your manager the capacity to actually do the connecting and do the things on the leadership standpoint with you in the business.
Yeah.
While on the back end, the AI is doing all that.
And it helps communication with the team too, because like, for instance, like if you and your manager have a meeting and you like record it, you could have your AI automatically assign those tasks to your team members based off who it should be assigned to.
That's insane.
So like if Glenn and I have if we go in the other room and have a meeting right now, we use Notion as like our kind of, have you heard of Notion?
No.
Okay. So we use it as like our command hub, like our brain for the organization. And so like if we talk, we can record it in that application. My AI is already built to automatically look for a new conversation. And then once it finds it, if in our conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, assign this to Lynette, assign this to Glenn, Chaz needs to like talk to our editors for this stuff, it will literally create those in there. And I never had to like talk to anybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were at a point where you can go all the way through execution, like you're saying.
Bro, we're at a point where like I can, the video I just recorded of us, I can drop it into our Google Drive right now and it will automatically put it on a content scheduler for my team to just verify, and then it'll post it.
That's wow.
So imagine you're at an event and like, what's one of the things that always happens when you're doing events? You don't post anything because you're busy.
Yes.
But it's like, what if all you had to do was record it and then just drop it in a drive and then it was done? And then you're like, cool. And then like, or you give that link to attendees and then now it's like, like the possibilities are like, they're there, bro.
Yeah, it really is. And so when we talk about like the optimization, like really, really being intentional with optimizing, but bridging an AI with that. And so, which is why when I say like our audience who we talk to are small businesses, because there's so many small business that have a creative story, or they have a passion, they have this vision, but they lack the structure and systems. And so that's where,
and the nerd to help.
And then that's where we enjoy, coming in to fill in that gap. Because like I said, we just like you, right? Not just DJing, you love bringing people together in this creative space where they can create memories and they may be able to find their spouse. And we love to do the same thing, just not behind the brand of you with the ones and twos, but just in a different capacity.
Definitely.
Which is again why we love connecting with people who are very aligned with where we're trying to go and what we're trying to accomplish as well. And so I say all of that to also connect to saying salute to you and your team for what you guys are creating.
Thank you.
The direction that you guys are moving.
We appreciate that. And I definitely see alignment here, and my entrepreneur brain is going off right now.
Trying to leave people here racing.
We're definitely going to schedule that follow-up call.
Don't say anything on the phones anymore.
Tell your AI to call me tonight,
Dude, that's like, that'll be probably, so I'll be like, hey, I want you to listen to like our podcast episodes and then like contact the guest on like potential business opportunities.
But and speaking of which, while we're on that topic, that's essentially how I found you, right? Like I utilized my AI to look at folks that align with our brand, our vision, and it created me a list of folks, their Instagrams, their emails, their phone numbers, to connect with, and an overview of like what and who they were about, right? And normally I don't go on IG and DM folks, right?
Okay.
And so
he does not.
Yeah. And so
Did AI DM me?
Yeah. I did.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang, we're that far too?
No, you can, but we don't like to do
yeah,
that.
Okay. Yeah. There's still like that personal touch.
Yeah.
But like I never go on Instagram to DM someone to like invite them onto the podcast or hey, let's talk business. Right. But what I did do is utilize that AI and it highly suggested you. It said that we were very aligned in many areas. Right.
Wow.
And so
I didn't even know I was on AI's radar. Like I Googled myself for the first time ever last week. I was like, dang, I need to.
Yeah, we know how to do deep dives.
Well, like, you can be very specific with it, right? Like you can tell it like this is where we're, and because you do events in Napa, it takes all those things into account, right? No, I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, like I have profiles built on the people we do business with, so that when I write contracts, it speaks directly to the type of person they are.
Jeez, this is such high IQ stuff,
It is fun. It's very interesting. I mean, and we get the opportunity. We were talking about the next generation. We get the opportunity to teach our kids. Like there was one day I brought my 9-year-old to work with us a couple weeks ago. And he was interested in one of the AI apps that we utilize, and we showed it to him. He was like, what? And I had him play around with it, and he found a couple folks to invite onto the podcast, right? Just by showing him in, less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
And so it's just like being able to bring people into that space in that world, but then also teach the next generation of the things that are not going away, right? How do you adapt them and get them to utilize those tools, not to just replace people, but to be another added
enable
value.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just sounds like everything is hyper efficient now. And it's almost, I don't want to say scary, because I think, with AI, everyone is
scary,
back and forth.
but it's okay.
I had a long chat with someone yesterday down in San Jose. We were looking for a spot to try and do a brunch for Chris Brown and Usher weekend.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
an old school promoter.
For sure.
And he talked to me about how he used to reach people. He was back in college at the time. He would
Cold calling.
go to every college just in his car with flyers.
Yeah.
And then that was step one. That was organic. He had success that way. And then step two is radio.
Oh, yeah.
And he's talking to me about all these clear channel DJs. And I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
I knew one. I knew Chewy Gomez.
Chewy Gomez.
And Jay
California
Espinoza.
Music Channel.
Shout out to those DJs. Got to show respect,
shout
right?
out.
But I just thought about
Cameo
how...
just commented on our thing, and I was like,
Really?
Well, we posted from the thing, and I was like, this is full circle for me, man. Like, as a Bay kid, the fact that Cameo just commented on my company's thing is like, 8-year-old me is like, this.
That's such a... Yeah, I would go crazy, you know what I mean? I just remember those days, and I've lived through them. I remember being in my mom's Ford Contour, hearing radio ads, we need to go to that, And those days are just not these days. Now it's so digital.
Yeah.
And something I really love about, I don't know, Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Alpha, there's a little bit of a step back from the algorithm with them, where they're like, I know I'm constantly being targeted, so they almost like self-remove. I've seen kids
Gen Z starting to do that. Yeah. They're starting to like intentionally keep that in mind.
Yeah. And it's just such a fascinating thing to me, because I remember... Like, my brother's 10 years younger than I am, and we interact with the internet very differently.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just fascinating. I'm curious to see if you can even dodge AI. It's like something you have to utilize, I feel like. I can't imagine being in college or high school right now. It's probably so tempting to not write your paper.
I mean,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I tell my kids, I'm like, you can use AI. And the reason why is because parents don't have to agree with me, but in my mind, I'm like, why would I limit my child on the resources of the world?
Yeah.
Like, it's not going away. In 10 years, like, I'm gonna not let my kid use those things. Now, I tell them, hey, you got to understand how to do this stuff. Like, if you're gonna do math, you need to be able to tell me how this problem got done. If you're having a problem, I get it. Ask it to break the steps down for you so that you can learn it maybe in the moment. But like, as far as like writing papers and things like that, no one's writing essays no more. Like, let's just keep it 100. Like, and ultimately you can't dodge it because everything's now implementing it.
It's such a...
And it's crazy.
Touchy. Yeah. It reminds me of the calculator.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember when the calculator came out? It was like, you need to know how to do this, but this tool can do it all for you.
Or you're never going to have a calculator on your phone.
Yeah.
Trig I can do right now. Right. And so... But it's exactly, that's kind of like what it comes, and a lot of people don't realize is like, AI has been implemented in our culture for the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Different levels, obviously, right? Like, but in retrospect, it's been there for when the first Alexa came out. I mean, think about that. I remember that thing, the big cylinder on my desk. My mom bought me one, and I was like, this is so cool. I can like to ask it what the weather is.
Yeah, it's so true.
But like, that's just, But you, like you said, you have to stay cognizant though too, right? Like, me and Glenn always joke about the like AI indicators, like in emails and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, all right, man, get rid of the dashes.
Yeah, I have mine trained to never use dashes.
Same, exactly. Hey, bro, don't
it's
use
such
dash.
a giveaway. But on the flip side, I was a little early in my journey of doing this. I've always tried to be like, again, not just a DJ.
Yeah.
And about 6 months ago now, maybe it was like January, I was like, what can I do? Things are going pretty well right now. I launched a entrepreneur scholarship.
Okay.
As a DJ, I was like,
That's
the
dope.
DJ Heartbreak, I forget what I called it, but I was like,
Yeah.
$2,000 if you're graduating this year or transferring to a
That's super cool.
JC. We only had 2 applicants,
Hey, whatever.
but I specifically said in my in my requirements, no usage of AI. And it was a very long application process. I was like, I'm gonna give away $2,000. You're gonna earn this $2,000. And both of the applicants, I don't remember their names, not gonna put y'all on blast, but they forgot to not copy and paste. They're like, gotcha, I'll write this out for you. So
both of them did.
There was two applicants, and both of them disqualified.
They both disqualified.
And that was the only real giveaway. I mean, I didn't even run it through the AI thing. I was just reading through their responses. Yeah, I was like, come on, guys.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I wanted people to write it out. I knew it was a lot. It was like 20 questions, but I wanted paragraphs, and you had 6 months to do it. So I thought maybe,
that's a little, And
then part of me wondered, are people's parents, write this as from my daughter's voice, and thankful, and it made me think differently. It's like, so I think if I do it next year, which I still want to do it because things are still growing, and I think that's part of our R&B Brunch community, side tangent right now, but community, like to entrepreneurs, like we're now starting to go to R&B concerts together. We're gonna see Ella May together in San Francisco.
Oh, cool.
We saw Wale last month. I've always loved concerts, grew up in that world, so it was like natural extension. We give away
concerts. Go by themselves.
We give away concert tickets at the brunch. So I do a little trivia, like, hey, who remembers this song? First one to DM me the artist, you win 2 tickets to see Bobby Brown,
That's cool.
So we're trying to develop a community, and the scholarship is another piece of that. So if I drop dead today, I'd want people to hopefully remember me for more than just, he threw some good parties. Like,
good mix.
He gave back to his community. My daughter and I got to see Bobby Brown, which I don't even like him, Team Whitney, but but I'm thankful that was something DJ Heartbreak or Heartbroken allowed us to do. And that's really what I think about all the time is legacy beyond me. And that's why I want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So many of us are not remembered as soon as we're in that box. My dad is a funeral director, so I'm kind of like hypersensitive on that, right? It's like I really would love to be remembered, even if it's just for one generation, like.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, and I think that's more of where alignment is. Like our business partner that we were talking about earlier, that's in Florida, Chaz. Us like really coming together to form this community called Elevari Global, right? And it's essentially where us bringing business owners together to be able to be around like-minded individuals who are looking to elevate to their next level. And again, talking about the legacy, being remembered, not just for the nice studio or for the media company or for whatever, but being able to let that legacy live on through the people.
Yes.
Right. Because of what they've been able to create within that community. And that's, one of the things that drives me day in and day out when I'm waking up and then to go back to bed, like trying to work hard for that thing to create those opportunities for folks and those environments and those memories for people so that they can continue to pour into their next generation, and it just keeps folding on. So,
yeah, I really resonate with that. I think a lot of the communities that are successful, they're thinking multi-generationally. And I think something, at least in the R&B space, that I wish we got better at is like it's so hyper competitive, but we don't even really know each other.
Yeah.
Like I've run into people and it's like, oh, you're not that bad. Like,
the Bay has this weird thing. Like it's like we're all about love, but like it's like competition at the same time. And we talk about it especially from like like for instance, like the media company. This has only been alive like 2 years, maybe. But we were the head media team for Lakefest. The largest,
gotta give claps to that.
Thank you. We're like, but you think about like, how did that happen in the Bay Area of all places? The millions of people here, right? Now I know we're dope. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna take my flowers, but at the same time, like you would almost think there would have been more. But I think what we've identified is we were able to create a place where people wanted to collaborate. Yeah. And we then massaged that and we nurtured it. And now we have like a dope ass team that does it. But we all work together. Like, like how many people's contractors are bringing contracts to them?
Yes.
Like our contractors call us and it's like, hey, I got this contract. Like, let's make it work. And I'm like, well, why don't you just keep it? They're like, no, I want to bring it to the team. And I'm like,
I love that.
Like, and so, and that is just something I think that has really allowed us to do what we've been able to do. But it's not normal, which is upsetting. But I'm also going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're injecting value.
Yeah.
Even in the conversation we've had on camera and off, it's like I already can see opportunities to come here again physically.
For sure.
And I think that's unique because, and I think physically is important because so many people want to be places digitally, right? But to physically come back into this space and in a different capacity.
For sure.
And it's felt so organic, you know, it's not like, hey man, here's our rate sheet. And, you know, it's more like, wow, these are some great individuals, professional team. I'm looking at them on, like you guys have your act together. Yeah. And that's the same thing I strive for with my team, where I think something unique with us, people ask us like, how do you get to do these brunches at these cool places repeatedly? Something I pride myself on with the brunch series in particular is our model is not just hit it and quit it. We do a lot of brunches repeatedly at the same exact location. Yeah. And that's a testament to our relationship with ownership. Yep. We're delivering results and value there. Correct. Something we talk about all the time is when I'm sitting down with an owner for the first time, we have a new location dropping tomorrow. By the time this airs, it'll be live. We're going to be in Danville, which is traditionally a place you do not. You know, you're like, well, exactly. That's the reaction I wanted. Whoa, Danville, what? Right? We're going to be in Danville, but we started with a nighttime event. We started with what they were comfortable with. They saw how we operate. Yeah. They saw that we brought security like we said we would. Yeah. We settled with them financially like we said we would. Yep. Then you get a brunch, right? And I think sometimes, speaking to entrepreneurs again, you know, sometimes you have to start smaller than what you want to do and grow into that relationship. But it's no different than your industry. It's if you're bringing value, the rest will follow.
Yeah. So I did want to ask a question. How do you know? So you recently expanded to Sausalito. Once this airs, you'll be in Danville. How do you know how do you and your team know when it's the right time to expand to another city, especially with all the different nuances with different cities and regulations and all that?
Definitely. So understanding the Bay really comes down to, it's less about regulatory things for the most part. It's more about personalities and just understanding the landscape of the Bay Area. I think something unique to this community is we like to be in spaces where we haven't been. And I keep hitting that on the nail, but it's true. It's like if you drop a flyer in Napa, there's a reason that one has sold out every single time we've done it. Yeah. Sausalito, we've been there a lot. We actually were there the first time in October of last year. Okay. That one sold out instantly. Oh, wow. A place I met with, and another, I'll speak to the camera. I met with the Ritz-Carlton earlier this year. The model did not work because their event spaces they have to treat like a wedding. So it would have to be like an open bar. It'd have to be kind of a different concept than what we're used to. Yeah. To make the economics of it work, we would have had to charge like $200 per ticket. And part of me still wants to do it because I think people will pull up, right?
In Half Moon Bay?
In Half Moon Bay, right on the water. I was like,
beautiful.
That'd be a dope.
That's the thing my team and I grapple with, right? Like, I had a long meeting with them. I was like, so people traditionally in our space, I feel like they get really excited about the brunches in the brunch space that are in exciting locations. Yeah. And I think Silverado would be one. Obviously, the Ritz would be one. We try to go to locations where it's like, wow, you don't see this here often. Right. And I'd love to collaborate with others to do it. I'd love to work with Boozy Brunch. I'd love to work with, I've heard there's a gentleman named Michael that throws R&B brunches. I think coming together and doing it collectively is what the people need to see because it gets so political and, I was at this brunch and, don't go to his. Right. It's dumb. It's really, really dumb when none of us own waffles. None of us own the music. Yeah. Rest in peace, Clive Davis just died, you know, like. The people need it. The people need these experiences. And that's where I personally start in my mind. I go, we need this in Danville. You know, like
for sure.
This will hit in Danville. And being from the East Bay, it's a little easier in that market. Outside of the Bay Area, I lean on other people. When I went to LA for the first time, I didn't know. I was in like a gang area, like Bloods and Crips. Like I didn't know any of that. I just brought the music and the vibe. I didn't know. Like someone DM'd me, they're like, "Hey, I don't know if you know, but like that area is kind of rough." I was like, the music's gonna do the work, But that's something I could be better at. Is like outside of the Bay, it's like I know even the South Bay. I'm not from there, but you know the difference between San Jose, Campbell, Los Gatos, Santa Cruz, Monterey, But as this show goes on the road, that would be maybe an AI tool. Like, hey, am I going to be safe here? But that's how I kind of go about it in the Bay Area.
Nice.
Okay.
There. So before I get to my last question, so you have several lanes of the infrastructure that ties into the overall brand. Is there anything that you want to highlight? Anything that you want to share to us or to the audience regarding any of those entities?
Yeah. So right now we're in a couple different, I don't know if verticals is the right word, but I'm DJ Heartbreak. I throw R&B events predominantly in the Bay Area. The different kind of layers to what we do, and you can kind of pick your vibe or all of them. As we have the R&B Brunch series, which we've talked about a lot here. I have a nighttime series, which has really been honestly probably the most successful of them all, which is called Broken Promises. They're very big R&B parties, typically 500, 600, 700 people. That's nighttime series, so kind of more club-like. We do dabble in a little bit of hip hop, but I'd say 80% R&B, 20% hip hop. R&B and Golf, which we haven't touched on much, but it's just been a passion of mine. I've played golf since I was about 15 years old. Oh. It just felt like natural to try and bridge those two worlds.
Yeah.
I feel like we're underrepresented on the golf course. We do that about once a month as well. We'll pick a different golf course here in the Bay Area. We'll be going down to Los Angeles in August for the first time with R&B and Golf.
Nice.
R&B and Ready is our singles mixer series that honestly, if I could clone myself, I would spend more time on that, but that gets probably the least amount of attention.
Oh, yeah. That's men and women, right?
Yes.
So to that point, an idea that we can discuss later is like, do you know who David Shands is and Donnie Wiggins?
No.
They're out in Atlanta. They do a lot. They're big in the podcasting space. But anyways, they just started doing a podcast with like local singles in Atlanta.
Oh,
how cool would that be? Is at the event you have people doing almost like a show, like interviewing the other sex.
I really want to up my content game.
Pin that.
Yeah, we'll talk off camera, but that's probably my biggest immediate goal. And I've tried to explain it to my team. I was talking about like your vision, downloading and getting it. I'm probably at like 30% here.
Yeah.
I really want to get into the kind of skit world of things. Still as myself though.
For sure.
Yeah.
And maybe, this conversation happened for that reason.
For sure.
Because I see it very clearly. I almost want to drop like little movies, a minute.
Yeah.
I have an idea and we can talk more about it off camera, but it's like a girl who's upset about a bad relationship, right? And she meets with Dr. Heartbreak. And I prescribe her one R&B brunch, one R&B and golf event, whatever, you know what I mean? And,
I like that.
Like little things like, and I have 100 ideas like that, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd love to do that.
That's so cool.
Hell yeah.
And then the last thing I do, sorry, I was on my list. Last thing I do is I'm the founder and president of Heartbroken Entertainment Group, which is we have a media team, which we're launching right now, and an artist representation side. So my goal is to uplift other DJs too. If you DJ throughout the country or here in the Bay Area, where I can't be everywhere. And my goal is to, I say this every year, but my goal is to stop DJing and fully inject myself into the company as kind of the blood behind ideas and creative. So DJs, if you're a singer, if you're a model, we're really starting a big part of the company where I'm trying to use my connections and experiences to best guide people who are in those spaces too and get them booked exclusively on our events. So you could be DJing the singles mixer on Tuesday and the brunch on Sunday. Yeah. And it's all in-house.
I love that. I love that. All right, we're going to do a quick hot seat.
Okay.
Quick hot seat.
Pancakes or waffles?
Actually, I had my AI take some of the information about you and just create this while you were talking about that.
Okay.
So, question number one. You've built 4 brands. If you had to shut down 3 tomorrow and keep only one, which one survives and why?
Oh man, dang, you can't write it with the heat. I would shut down everything except. Do you mean from like a business perspective or from like what I personally love?
Either.
Okay, I'll keep it business
no
since
right
it's
or
the
wrong
business
answers,
podcast. Definitely the nighttime stuff, shockingly to me, has been extremely successful. So I would, as much as it breaks my heart, no pun intended, I would shut down the brunch, the golf, the singles mixer. I go all in on the nighttime stuff.
Gotcha.
From a business perspective. For my mom, if I'm asking, hey, Mom, what should I do?
Yeah.
I'd keep the brunch and shut down the rest. And I feel like that's mostly who I am. I am the brunch, really. Like that's organically me. The nighttime stuff, I'm still learning. My first time in the club was as a DJ.
Gotcha.
You know?
Nice. All right. What's the one city that humbled you where DJ Heartbreak walked in and the room didn't respond the way you expected it?
Ooh, Monterey.
Really?
Yeah. First time I played Monterey, I was humble. I think a good DJ can pivot, and I definitely pivoted, but it wasn't rinse and repeat from the Bay Area. And LA honestly was. I knew in LA the first time I went what to do, maybe because I did more homework, played a little more Warren G and Corrupt, But Monterey, like, they wanted some more of that kind of island flavor.
Makes sense, yeah.
And it was a lot less African-American people than I anticipated. It was a lot more like kind of Hispanic and Tongans and
Oh, really?
Monterey surprised me for sure. The first time I went there, I was ready the second time. I was like, you're not going to fool me twice, you know?
I love it. And my very last question, life, love, or leadership? Choose one of those words and speak from your heart, 60 seconds or less.
Life, love, or leadership? Love. Easy. I know the name says otherwise, but I really think it's corny. It's oversaid, but love makes the world go round. I think love is biblical. I think it takes us back to our home with God. I think we were made in the image of love. And I think the right businesses project love into the world. Yeah. And that's something I'm thankful to be in the entertainment industry and the experience industry where I think that traces back to the beginning of our conversation where with the brunch, I'm trying to create that love that was in that home in Castro Valley, California. For sure. At the brunch table. So love all day. Love always wins. Love is kind. Love is patient. Love, love, love.
Steph, on behalf of our team, to you and your team and the circle of folks that you have, we are very grateful for what you're doing, what you and the team are doing, the environment that you guys are creating, the memories that you guys are creating. It's very inspiring to see other individuals in this area that are just so locked in and focused to just keep pouring and helping folks to create a legacy, right? And something that I often talk about regarding legacy is not what you do. Leave for people is what you leave in them. And so thank you to you and your team for everything that you're leaving in people so that they can pour into the next generation after them. I'm going to toss it over to Cam.
I'm a man of few words. This is great, man. You're awesome. Like I think this made a lot of sense for where we're both at. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your platform with me, and hopefully we can do it again in a year and talk about where we're at now.
There's definitely got to be a part 2.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Part 7.
Yeah. Cool. And so where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. I am DJ Heartbreak. I am newer to TikTok, just DJ Heartbreak. And DJHeartbreak.com for all of my events. Heartbroken Entertainment Group is my company. You can find that online as well.
Love it.
Cool. All right, you guys. We'll see you guys later. As you already know, like, love, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys later.
DJ Heartbreak.
DJ Heartbreak.
Hey.
Let's go.